Hey, it's September 3rd, 2023. It's about 8:40 at night. I usually vlog now in the evening because I want to at least have a day so I have something to talk about. Um, so presently I'm sitting in my room in I'm at the Hampton Inn I'm in Central California. I'm about 2.5 hours north of LA, and I have had like no sleep. I barely slept last night. For some reason, I had this crazy idea to like get another pumpkin spice latte at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, even though I had decaf. That kept me up all night. I don't know what I was thinking. I just was like, was excited, I guess, and wasn't ready to go to bed. Anyways, I had this damn coffee and it kept me up all night. And then my alarm clock was set for like 4 because I had to get on the road because I wanted to get to the park, before it got too crowded. And so Sequoia National Park from Los Angeles is about 2.5 hours. And so I made it and the weather was fine. It wasn't raining today. But I got to the park. It was already crowded. Yes, it's a holiday weekend. I'm aware of that. I don't know why in my mind I thought that people would not be wanting to go to the park on Sunday. I don't know why in my head I convinced myself of that. But guess what? It was crowded. Even the park ranger was like, I haven't seen this crowded in so long. And I was like, well, how was I thinking then? So that did not plan it the way I wanted it to. With that said, I had a very lovely time. Sequoia National Park is quite beautiful. I did post a video earlier, and I'll try and post some more videos. I put a lot of it on my travel channel, but I had seen sequoias before. So in California, we have two kinds of trees, I guess. We have two state parks that are focused on trees. There's Sequoia National Park, and then there's a Redwood National Forest. And the Redwood, those are like northern California, like almost to Oregon. And most people don't realize just how big of a state California is. It's a massive state. So I'm in Southern California, which is LA. And then from LA to like San Francisco, it's like a 6-hour drive. To put that in perspective, that's like driving from LA to Phoenix, Arizona. So that's just above Central. So it's like another 6 hours, I think, from there. So just to drive the whole length of California is like a half a day. I don't think people realize that. It's a really, really, really long state. So with that said, I'm in Central California, about 2 hours north. Central California is really known. It's where all the agriculture is. So you have Southern California, which is all city. This is why people say that California is like two states, because it really is. Southern California, it's all just like people. Central, it's all agriculture. And then like you have like the Bay Area with San Francisco, and then there's trees until you get to Oregon. And it's stunning up there. I've shot up there before. It is quite lovely. So the difference between the redwood trees, they go forever to the sky. They're so long, they tickle God's feet. They are just the longest trees. Sequoias are really tall too, but they're really thick. So that, But anyways, they're beautiful. So as I was driving up into the park, the temperature dropped because it's like 10,000 feet. No, maybe not that high. But either way, it's high. And it was like foggy and rainy. It felt like I thought I was in Silent Hill. Like, it was crazy. Because there was just so much fog. Let me adjust this here. There's so much fog. So I was like, and we're driving on these like windy roads, and I was like, oh, I'm going to fall off if I'm not careful. So, but when I got there, like I said, it was quite lovely. But I will tell you, there was so many people. It was so crowded. So, I didn't see as much as I wanted to because there wasn't a lot of parking, and because it's all on windy roads and stuff. Basically, you have to take a shuttle to get to each like section to go hiking, and it was like there was a long line to get on the shuttle to go this place and that place, and I was like, I don't know how to deal with people. Like, it was just, I wanted to come up here to commune with nature and get away from people and relax, and I just felt like I went around more people. So I was there for about 6 hours. Quite lovely. I mean, I wish I could explain to you just how unbelievably beautiful it was. Like I'd said earlier, just when I think I see beautiful places in like the state or any other state, I go to the national parks, and I understand why the national parks. I mean, they are just like, I went to Joshua Tree National Park, and like it looked like it was from another world. Like, that's That's how great they are. So, but then as I was coming back down, and I didn't have a lot of cell service, but when I came down, I guess because I had posted on Instagram, it was connected to my Facebook. And my cousin's like, oh, you're like right down the street from us. And I completely forgot. Like, I knew that my aunt and uncle lived in Southern California. I just didn't know exactly where they were in relationship to where I was staying. And because I had planned this trip so, like, quickly, I didn't get a chance to tell them that I was up here. So, this is my mom's sister and her husband. And I only see them at Thanksgiving. But the last time I saw them was at my mother's funeral in January. So when they found out I was in the area, they're like, we should go have dinner. So we just went and had dinner, and we had some Mexican food and a nice margarita. And it's very fascinating, some of the stories you hear as you get older. As my uncle said, the older you get, he goes, it's amazing the bones you find when you open closets. So he is not wrong. That was a nice night of just like learning new things about my family, and especially hearing a lot of stories about my mother when she was younger. That was very nice because my mother still has stories about her life, but to hear them from her sister, and like I said, I haven't hung out with my aunt and uncle by myself, and I don't think ever. So it was nice that I just happened to be in the area and was able to go have dinner with them. So it made for quite a lovely evening. It was, what a nice way to like end cap my day, So I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. There is another national park. No, it's not a national park. It's a national. So there's several things. Like the United States have these federal lands. Some of them are national parks. Some are national historic monuments. Some are historical sites. So there's 35 of those in California, and I'm trying to see all of them. But on the way home, there's at least 3 of them. But one I think is like 6 hours in the opposite direction. I do want to go to Yosemite. Yosemite is like one of the big ones. But it's from here, it's like another 3 hours north. So it's like 6 hours total. So I'm definitely not going to go that way. So I'll figure it out. But right now, I'm just going to lay in this nice hotel bed and just relax. But I will show you something that I think is cool. I'm staying at the Hampton. And when I came in, can you see that? It says, welcome, Michael. I thought that was so cool. It says my name. So I feel a little bougie when they do that. That's why I like to stay in these Hiltons and Hamptons and stuff. My friends always tell me I'm bougie, but I like traveling. I travel a lot for work. I travel a lot personally. And I just like to stay in Hiltons. I have Hilton points, and I'm just, it's my home away from home, so I like it. So I want to be comfortable. So, but everybody, you guys always give the best comments. I love reading your comments as much as you guys watching my vlog. So I think that, that makes it very symbiotic. So I appreciate it. So thank you for enjoying my random life. I do stuff like this all the time. People always tell me that they find it fascinating that I'll just get antsy and I'll just get in the car and drive somewhere. I will tell you this quick story. Was it last year? Last year, I hadn't been up to, there's a place, so in the state of California, you usually drive more inland, right? But you can also drive right along the coast. There's this freeway. Starts about, I think, an hour north of LA. Pretty much from Malibu up. And it's stunning. It's one of the most stunning drives. It's along the 1 freeway. And it goes up to like Big Sur in Monterey and Morro Bay and all these things. They're beautiful. And I hadn't done them since I was a kid, so I decided to do them one day to just drive. And so I found this random, I was Googling things, and I found this random, it was a thing that you connected to your phone, and as you're driving, it tells you points of interest, and this guy narrates. So it's like this, it was like a self-driving audio tour. And I was listening to it. It was great. So I ended up in Big Sur, and Big Sur has this beautiful, it's known for this huge bridge that people take pictures of it. I was there taking a picture of the bridge, and this girl was off to the side, and she's like, if you stand over here, she's like, everybody's over there trying to get pictures, but she's like, if you come over here, just a little bit further down, it kind of wraps around and you can see the bridge better. And I was like, all right, well, let's do it. So I go and I walk around, and I stand in front of the bridge, and I see these two other people. It was a mother and a son. And I was like, you guys come over here. take a picture here. So they took a picture. It's great. We were talking. And the mom was like, oh, where are you from? And I said, oh, I'm from LA. And she's like, what are you doing here? And I said, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, but I was just feeling antsy and I love road trips and I love traveling. So I just got in my car and I hadn't been up to Big Sur, so I decided to come. And she's like, I was just telling my son this. He's like, he couldn't believe that people just do that. She's like, I do that. And he laughs at me. And I was like, that's so weird. My friends are always like, why do you do that? And I said, because I love it. One, because I can. I can afford it. I'm single. I don't have kids. So it's like, it's easy for me to do. I understand that it's not easy for everybody to do. It's easy for what I do. But it's also what I want. Traveling is what makes me happy. And, and I said, California is such a long state. And I go, we have so many places that we can go to and I haven't seen in a while. And because now that I do photography, I like to go and take pictures. And she was just like, I'm so glad I meet another person that just does that. So I am one of those rare people that, and I would do it if I lived in any other state, because when I travel for work and I go to places I've never been before, if they're close to a national park or something, I'll try and go. But I'll also try and rent a car while I'm there if they don't work. And I like to drive. Because I remember one time I was doing a movie in Massachusetts, and we were an hour out of Boston, and I hadn't been to Boston before, but it also was right next to Salem. I didn't realize how close they were, and I'd never been to Salem. And as somebody who likes horror, I had to go to Salem. So I rented the car and I drove to Salem and spent the day at a nice lunch. I walked around like cemeteries. It was all witchy and cool. And then I decided to swing through Boston. I didn't stop in Boston because Boston's a huge city like LA. And I just didn't know where to begin, especially because I didn't do any research on it. I was just like, oh, there's Boston. I'm going to go. So I would like to see those places again. But what I'm saying, the moral of the story is I just get in the car and drive. And I'm like that when it comes to trips randomly. I'll just be like, oh, I don't have anything going on next week and I want to go somewhere. So this time last year, I was just finishing up a movie and I was like, oh, I wanted to go somewhere in September. And I Googled cheap places to go to in September and it popped up as Mexico City. So this time last year, I was traveling to Mexico City. I love Mexico City. So that's what I'm saying is like, this is pretty common for me. So I'm hoping that that's something you guys will enjoy. And the randomness of my life. And hopefully you get to meet all my cool friends like Blake. I would have done some videos with my aunt and uncle, but I don't think they understand. And we were talking about personal stuff. So I just kind of sat there and enjoyed my time with them. And I was trying to be present in the moment. I didn't look at my phone or anything like that. So yeah, that was my day. And I'm just going to sleep in my nice, comfy bed in this nice hotel room. And hopefully I'll wake up feeling refreshed and I will embrace the day and see where you go from there. So, all right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening to me ramble on yet again. I appreciate it so much, and I will see you tomorrow.